Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. It is Saturday afternoon, 12 PM. I do apologise that there wasn't a live stream yesterday. I was a little bit busy so I couldn't get a live stream out. I did say that I was going to live stream today. I originally said it'd be about 3 o'clock, but I got up early and I thought, you know what, let's talk about Everton now. Why wait till 3 o'clock when people are probably halfway through the day, a little bit busy, you know, out and about, doing a bit of shopping, forgetting about Everton. Let's get it over and done with early in the morning. And I actually want to talk about a little bit of a positive stream today. There's not going to be as many negatives. Now, obviously we know in recent weeks in the football club, there's been a lot of negatives. There's been a lot of things that people can pick at. There's been a lot of things that people can, you know, moan at a little bit, and it's all understandable, of course. The form on the pitch has been absolutely shocking. The managerial tactics have been inept. And, you know, the stuff going on in the background with the board hasn't been great either, obviously. We've been let down an awful lot over the past couple of weeks and months as Evertonians. So I thought, you know what, I want to come and I want to talk about, you know, some positives, because over the last week there has been some positives at Everton Football Club. We're going to talk about Everton in the community. We're going to talk about the stadium figures as well, because I thought, you know what, it's a Saturday afternoon. It's an international break anyway, so nobody really wants to sit here and moan about Everton or talk about Everton negatively, because we don't have to. We can literally forget about Everton for this week and then go back to worrying about it next week when we play West Ham. Obviously, it's the internationals. We'll talk a little bit about the internationals later on in the stream. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to come and I'm going to talk a little bit positively, because I think it's important that when positive things happen at our football club, we have a little bit of a discussion about them, because we've spoken about the negative things over the last week. We've spoken about Marco Silva and how, you know, if he does leave, who could come in to replace him. We've spoken about how really, really poor, you know, the Burnley game was, and I just want to say a massive thank you for all of the support on the recent videos. It's been absolutely unbelievable. Both the recent streams are hitting 1k views, you know, everybody's getting involved in the live comments, everybody's getting involved in the comments of the YouTube video. So I want to say a massive thank you to everybody for getting involved with those recent live streams. I understand it's been a negative time at the football club, and I understand that we're all sharing much of the same frustrations with the football club. So I just want to say a massive thank you for all of your support. Of course, as well, we're about 15 subscribers, I think, away from 1,000. So big thank you for that. The subscribers have been flying through the roof over the last couple of weeks and months. So if you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button. And if you know an Everton fan, if you know people that are interested in football and Everton and they don't know about the channel and they haven't subscribed, please do share it, get the word out there, get it known, and hopefully we can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark before next week's game against West Ham, which is a big game for Everton. We're not here to talk about it today, but we know it's a massive game. Marco Silva knows it's a massive game for him. He's got to win it, because he's seriously on the ropes at the minute now, even before that game. But he's even more on the ropes if he doesn't get anything out of that game. So it's massive. But we're not here to talk about that today. CJ says, hi Cam, hope all is well. Can't beat a midday Saturday stream. I'm not doing too bad, mate. Hope you're doing well yourself. Owen says, hope you're alright, Cam, mate. Hi Owen, hope you're doing well. I'm not too bad, thanks, mate. I'm not too bad. John says, hi Cam, how are you doing today? I'm doing fine, mate. Hope you're doing well. Jeff says, been let down the past few months, mate, that the last 25 years, Cam. Yeah, fair enough. But I'm just talking about relativeness at the minute. Evertonian TV says, hello lad, hello, I hope you're doing well. And Ziad says, what do you think of Liverpool? I hate them, to be honest with you, mate. I absolutely hate them. But in all fairness, they're doing well at the minute. But I fucking can't stand them. I'm just going to tweet this email to everybody on Twitter knows the way I live. Like I said, getting so close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. The support has been absolutely unbelievable. If you caught Wednesday's live stream when we spoke about possible replacements for Marco Silva, we spoke about the likes of Rafa Benitez, we spoke about the likes of Jose Mourinho. That was a really interesting stream as well. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go and check that out and have your say in the comment section down below as well. And Max says, do you think we'll win West Ham? We'll beat West Ham. Yeah. I don't think we'll beat anyone, to be honest with you. You could put a Championship team in front of me at the minute. You could put a League 1 team in front of me. You could put a League 2 team in front of me. And I wouldn't be confident Everton would win the game of football. I think we should beat West Ham, but we should have beat Burnley. We should have beat Sheffield United. We should have beat Bournemouth, and we didn't. So I really don't know anymore. I really don't know. But anyway, like I said, we're here to talk a little bit positively about the club, because I think it's important that when things happen, like, you know, some of the events of the last week, we come and we talk about it, because we're all quick to jump on the negatives and we're all quick to talk about things that need to change. But let's talk about the positives. The title of this stream is why Everton are the best club in the world, and Everton are the best club in the world. We're all Evertonians and we all know that. We are the best club in the world. We're not the best team in the world. We're not the best team in the league. We're probably not even the best team that wears blue called Everton, to be honest with you. But we are definitely the best club in the world, and I'm going to go into talking about reasons for that in just a second. Zeta said, would you take Solskjaer? No chance, mate. Absolutely no chance. I really don't see much difference between Solskjaer and Marco Silva, to be honest with you. Certainly with the performances of the clubs at the minute. So firstly, I want to jump into talking about World Mental Health Day, which obviously was on Thursday. Now, we know Everton in the community do a load of work with mental health, not just with Evertonians, but with, people in the community, Liverpool fans, doesn't matter who you support. If you're in this community and you're struggling with mental health, Everton in the community are always there to help out. Obviously, we know they've got the People's Place, which is a massive, massive £1 million project that they're raising money for at the minute, doing such events like the zip wire at Goodison Park that I done, the skydive that a lot of people took part in as well, 5k runs that I know the lads from the Falcon Blues are doing as well, so definitely go over and check those guys out, and leave any type of donation that you can. So we all know that Everton in the community do a lot of work with mental health. Like I said, it's not just surrounding Everton fans, it's not just surrounding football fans, it's surrounding anybody. And we know they've got this massive project, the People's Place, that they're looking to build, which is a mental health facility which won't be that far from Goodison Park, in which people that are struggling can go, sit down, talk to professionals. Because I've said this before on stream, and I don't want to make this all about me and talk all about my, issues, but as somebody that's massively, massively struggled from mental health issues throughout my entire life, from as early as I can remember, walking, talking, struggle from them up until this day. I've been rock bottom, I've had good days, I've had bad days. From somebody that has suffered from that, I can honestly tell you how hard and how difficult it is to come out and to talk about your mental health, and to not... it's massively hard to come out and talk about it, but it's massively, massively hard to accept it that yourself, and to accept yourself that, you're not okay, and that you need help, and that you need to come out and you need to seek the help. That is unbelievably tough. So Everton in the community, obviously building the People's Place, which is a place that people can go to and they can talk about it, it's absolutely massive. It's fantastic. And obviously, like we said, it's not just for Evertonians, it's not just for football fans, it's for anybody in the community. You could go into Everton in the community, and you don't even have to know about football, you don't even have to know who plays for Everton. You can go in, and if you've got if you're struggling, they can help you with that. So that, obviously, it's absolutely fantastic. So with it being World Mental Health Day on Thursday, Everton, the club, obviously highlighted this, and they had Tom Davies sitting down with a lad, a Liverpool fan actually, who had been positively affected by Everton in the community. He'd struggled with his mental health throughout his life, and Everton in the community, he'd gone to Everton in the community, and then massively helped him over the last 7 months. He said he'd gone from really being able to leave the house and feeling like he was always being watched and there was always somebody waiting for him, to being able to sit down and have a face-to-face conversation with Tom Davies and talk about his issues, and really get that off his chest. And I thought that was absolutely fantastic, and it was really heartwarming. And that's where the title of this stream comes from. We are the best football club in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, I don't care who you support. We're the best football club in the world, because on the pitch it mightn't be good, and the performances mightn't be good, and the manager mightn't be, the managerial appointment mightn't have been what we wanted. But let's put that to the side at the minute, because we're on an international break, so we don't even have to think about the 11 players that put an Everton shirt on, or the fella that stands on the touchline and points at them wearing a suit. We think about the football club, and like I said, on Thursday we seen just how good of a football club we are, and just how important Everton in the community is to Liverpool, the city. And not just Liverpool, Everton in the community work all over the northwest. They work in Manchester, they work in Stockport as well. So how important that is to our community, because there's people out there like myself, like I'm sure there's people watching this live stream, I'm sure there's people all over social media, when we're talking about Marco Silva and when we're talking about Everton, that are struggling from their own mental health issues. Whether what it to be about is, it's obviously it's different for everybody, but that are struggling with our own mental health issues. And it's absolutely, it's so heartwarming to see Everton in the community come out and do so much work towards it, and then it be highlighted throughout this interview. And like I said, for me, Tom Davies has been massively praised for this interview, and rightly so as well. He's an absolute honour to have at Everton Football Club. Now, you can talk about his performances, you can say he's not good enough. This kid is an absolute honour to have at Everton Football Club, and he has got all the credentials to be an Everton captain. He really has. And you can see during the interview, he doesn't just sit down and you can see that, other people might sit down and might go, yeah, we'll listen to what the lad's saying, and then I'll go, oh, do you want something for free? Do you want this? Do you want that? He doesn't. You can very clearly tell during this interview that Tom Davies has taken in everything that he's being told, and he understands it. He's engaging in conversation. He's talking to the lad about, his issues, and he's saying about how it's really tough to believe that 7 months ago he was in a massively different stage, because the lad's coming across really confident. He's talking to Tom and having a genuine good conversation, and you can see how much that means to Tom Davies. And this is why this lad is an absolute honour to have at Everton Football Club, and he epitomises what we are as a football club. We're family run. And we're all about the community. And like I said, this is a Liverpool fan. This isn't an Everton fan. It's it's not about football. It's a lad that's struggled, that's come to a charitable organisation in Everton, the community, and has been helped by that, and has had the opportunity to sit down and talk about that with obviously one of the players. Tom Davies then obviously does say, what size boots are you? They happen to be the same size, and he says he'll get him a pair of Everton boots, and he says the lad jokes that he wants an Everton shirt, and he says, I'll get you that as well with Tom Davies on the back. So the point is, it's a fantastically heartwarming video, and it really, really makes you sit down and think, well, yeah, the performances on the pitch haven't been good enough, and we can sit here and 45 out of 52 weeks a year we'll sit here and we'll criticise the manager and we'll criticise the players and we'll talk negatively about them and we'll say it's not good enough and it needs to improve and this and that and this needs to change. But when you're coming out of the footballing element of it, and when you're actually looking at us as a football club and looking at the other things that we do, it's absolutely fantastic to see things like obviously the video with Tom Davies and the lad, all the work that Everton in the community are doing. Because like I said, it's the football on the pitch this week was irrelevant because we weren't playing. Lads had gone on international duty. Marco Silva's had conversations with whoever he's had conversations with. It was about that World Mental Health Day for Everton on Thursday, and obviously again they really come out and shown that why they're an absolutely fantastic club, and like I said, in my opinion, the best football club in the world, because nobody looks after the community like we do. And like I said, as somebody that struggled from mental health throughout his entire life, it really, really is heartwarming to see Everton in the community doing what they're doing, because I struggle. I didn't go to Everton in the community, but I massively struggled to come out. And again, it's massively tough to come out and talk about your mental health, but it's massively tough to come out and accept it and accept that you're not okay and that you need to seek help and that you need somebody to talk to, because a lot of people, and it's especially prominent in men, don't get me wrong, it's prominent in women as well, and I just want to say that, but it's especially prominent in men, and a lot of men think that it's sort of this alpha male status that they don't want to come out and they don't want to admit that they're not okay and they don't want to talk about it because it may be seen as a weakness. So it's massively tough to come out and say, what, I'm not actually alright. And what I've seen all over social media, all over Twitter, and especially with this video, was a lot of people coming out and saying, well, what, I'm in a similar situation, I'm not okay, and I want to go and seek help. And trust me, it was the best thing I ever done. I'm still struggling to this day, don't get me wrong. You don't go out and you're not healed forever. I wasn't healed forever, maybe some people are. I still struggle to this day, but going out and seeking help and seeing a counsellor and seeing somebody that could just sit there, that I knew wasn't judging me, and I knew understood everything that I was saying. And if I said, basically I've got this compulsion that I have to do, and they went, yeah, I know all about that, I've struggled with that myself. It's massive. It makes you feel like, okay, I'm not alone in this, I'm not the only one that's it makes you really feel like, okay, I'm not going crazy, this isn't just me, this is actually a real thing. And like I said, it was the best thing that I ever done. And obviously this lad's coming out and saying that the help that he's got from Everton in the community has literally turned his life around. It's made him go from not wanting to leave the house because he feels like he's going to get watched, to being able to sit down in a room that, don't get me wrong, you don't see the behind the scenes, but I assume had tens of cameras, videos, etc, everywhere, loads of people standing about, and have a conversation with a professional footballer about that. And Tom Davies handles that really, really well, and like I said, he's a massive honour to have at the football club. So again, I just want to take this moment to say, if you haven't already checked out Everton in the community, if you haven't already looked at the work that they're doing, definitely go and follow them on all their social medias. Go and have a look on the website. Go and have a look at what they're doing at the minute. I know the Falcon Blues lads are doing, I think it's a 5k run to raise funds for Everton in the community. Obviously, I done the Zips lad with the lads from Toffee TV a couple of months back. They also done, the Toffee TV lads done, I think it was Snowdon, the Zip lad across Snowdon. I know there's loads of Evertonians on Twitter that are constantly raising money for Everton in the community. It's massively important that we do our part, because like I said, it's not a closed charity. It's not something that you go, oh, you're an Evertonian, you can come in. If you're not, you're not. Again, Everton in the community is a charity that does work with everybody in the community, whether you're Everton, Liverpool, Tranmere, Man United, Man City, you like football, don't like football, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And again, it's one of the best things about our football club, not just at the minute, but ever. It's one of the best things, and it's really heartwarming to see things like that story on Thursday night. And again, it makes you sit back and go, you know what, that's really nice to see, and it makes you really go, fair play to the lad for coming out and being able to talk about that. Because even now, for me, I don't think I'd be able to sit there in front of a load of cameras and talk to a professional footballer about my issues. It's different obviously coming on and talking to you guys, but fair play to the lad. And obviously, like I said, massive fair play to Tom Davies for not just sitting there and going, yeah, well, I'll listen to him for 10 minutes and then I'll say, do you want a pair of boots? And then I'll get off. You can see he's engaged in the conversation, and you can see he's asking questions, and he's genuinely like, thinking about obviously the struggles that this lad's gone through. So yeah, just want to say a massive obviously well done to the club and Everton in the community for doing all the work that they do, with mental health throughout the year. It's not just World Mental Health Day that Everton in the community are working. It's not just World Mental Health Day that Everton are working. With the lads that are suffering. It's every single day of the year. It obviously was just highlighted on Thursday, and it was highlighted really, really well. So that's why I've titled this team Why Everton the best football club in the world, because again, it mightn't be great on the pitch at the minute, and it's not great at the minute, and we'll all sit down and we'll talk probably later this week about how poor we've been and how we're going to struggle against West Ham, and after the West Ham game we might sit back and talk about how poor we were again. But I think it's really, really important to talk about the good things that are coming out the football club when they're happening, because it would be silly of us to just disregard this and just think, well, yeah, nice at the football club, but we're shit on the pitch, so it doesn't matter, because it absolutely does matter. It really, really, really does matter. So that's why I wanted to come on and talk about it today. We're not finished yet. Obviously, we're going to talk about a little bit more stuff as well. I'm just going to dive in the live comments to see what everybody is saying. Jonathan says, hello, Jonathan, hope you're doing well. Arteta Money says, hello, Camlad. Hello, Arteta Money, hope you're doing well. He also says, I've struggled with mental health this past year, but I know people are much worse than me, and I'm glad I turned it around due to my family. But if anyone in here feels like there's no way out, just talk. Exactly, just talk. One of the hardest but best things you can do with mental health is come out and talk, whether it's talking to a professional, whether it's talking to a family member, whether it's talking to a friend, just coming out and just saying, listen, I'm struggling. I've got certain things going on, and I just need to talk. And I can almost guarantee 99.9% of people that are around you currently will be around you to talk. There was a big campaign on Twitter as well, separate to Everton, that said, always check on people twice, because it's very easy to say to someone, are you okay? They say, yeah, I'm fine, and then you go, okay, that's it, I've checked on him, he's fine. Whereas this little video clip sees somebody say, you okay? The person says, yeah, I'm fine, and he goes, no, you've been acting, you haven't been yourself, are you okay? And he actually, I'm struggling with this and I'm struggling with that. So be aware that not everybody will say first time, yeah, I'm struggling with this, please can you help me? It may take a few conversations, and I've been in that boat with having to talk to other people about mental health, and people have been in that boat with me. If somebody says to me, you okay? And I'm struggling, I won't always go, yeah, no, that basically this has happened. I will sometimes try and cloud it and go, yeah, I'm fine, I'll be alright. So yeah, like I said, I just echo what Arteta Money said. If anybody needs to talk, my DMs on Twitter are always open. The tweets are always open. The channel is always open. Leave a comment, and I'll definitely get in touch with you privately. Don't have to leave a comment about your issue. Just leave a comment saying, Cam, is there any chance we can talk? I've been struggling, or I want to have a conversation, and I'll definitely get back in touch with you. So yeah, and Arteta Money says, I know it sounds cliche, but we need to stop making it a taboo subject. We do. ZJ says, would you rather Steve Bruce? No, I wouldn't. Arteta Money says, well said, Cam. Thought the interview was free flowing, and that was because both players cared about one another. Both people cared about one another. Sorry, Tom Davies should be held in high regard from Blues now because he's sound as fuck. Exactly, and you've seen, Liverpool fans, you've seen fans from all around the world come out and say, don't say a bad word about Tom Davies again, because like you said, it was free flowing. It was two people that were just having a conversation, and you could take the cameras away, you could take the media away, you could take the people away. It was two people that were sitting down and going, you know what? Well, let's just have a conversation about this. And you could see the lad was engaged in it, and Tom Davies was really, really engaged in it as well. Zisha says, what do you think of Mark Goldbridge? I think he's decent. He's a good entertainer. He works incredibly hard, and the channel that he's running is doing fantastically well at the minute, so not a bad word to say. Wayne says, it's a lot better with depression. More and more people speaking out now. Had a lot of problems after losing my dad. Still see mental health nurse. Have had drink and drug problems. Talking things through helps. Exactly, spot on, mate. It really, really does. And everybody at some point in their life will suffer with some point of some form of mental health issue, and it's really, really important that we come out and that we talk about it. It's massively difficult, but as soon as you have that first conversation, it does get easier from there. It does, because you've got that help, and you've got somebody to sit there and talk to. Jonathan says, was my daughter's funeral yesterday. Really, really, really sorry about that one. Like I said, you mentioned it to us last week. If you ever need me, Jonathan, I'm always here. Comment section, DMs on Twitter. I know we follow each other on Twitter. So definitely jump in me DMs if you want to talk, and even if we just want to have a general conversation to lift your spirits a little bit, we'll have a general conversation. Obviously, massively sorry for your loss. I understand, obviously, it's probably the worst thing that's going to happen, and I'm not even going to sit here and say I hope you're okay, because I understand the situation. But like I said, please do message me, please do get involved in the DMs, and I'll happily sit there till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning and just have general conversation with you. I really, really will. Wayne says, sorry for your loss, stay strong, Blue. Exactly, spot on. Arteta Money says, yeah, sorry, go hear about that, mate, stay strong. Sorry to hear about that, mate, stay strong. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna read that Origi because it's just irrelevant. Horse City Fever Forever says, hi Cameron, hope you're well, pal. I am not doing too bad, mate. Hope you're doing well yourself. Ziad says, what's your favourite game last season? Probably West Ham away because we won away convincingly, or Burnley away because we won away convincingly, or Man United at home, or Liverpool at home. Horse City Fever says, sorry, the how are you comment seems a tad wrong now. Stay strong, pal. No, obviously, listen, it's, you know, it's not wrong at all. Obviously, like I said, we're all here to talk about it. It's not wrong at all. You don't have to apologise whatsoever. Like I said, I'm in a much better place now than I was 12, 18 months ago. But I understand, you know, there's people that are still struggling. Horse City Forever says, you should always talk about it, never bottle it up, it's hard, but talking about it, believe me, it helps, it honestly does, it does, spot on. And Jonathan says, I'll message you, brother, thanks for the support. No problem, mate, yeah, if you message me, even if it's now, I'll jump on it straight after the stream. So yeah, anyway, moving on, like I said, absolutely fantastic from the football club over the last couple of days in terms of the mental health, obviously with World Mental Health Day being on Thursday. It's, you know, it's really, really brilliant to see. Stadium figures is another thing that have been released over the last couple of days. I think the club are trying to breed positivity during such a negative period. So the club come out, obviously we've seen all these WhatsApp messages, and we spoke about it briefly on Wednesday's team. We spoke about how I wouldn't even listen, or I wouldn't even read, or I wouldn't even take into consideration any of these WhatsApp messages or the notes messages that you can put on your iPhone or you can put on your Android, because it's so easy to, you know, to make them up. It's so easy for me to go, you know what, I'll just write a little WhatsApp message there. I'll change the name of my contact to Dave in brackets Finch Farm, and I'll write a little message there on behalf of Dave saying, yeah, basically, mate, I know somebody that works in the bogs of Finch Farm that, you know, changes the condom dispenser, and he's basically said that Duncan Ferguson came in the toilet once for a piss, and Marco Silva bounced in with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship around his belt, a pair of Batista shorts, give him a Batista bomb, and then, you know, Moise Keane ran in and drop kicked him, and basically, you know, it's all gone to shit. It's so easy to make stuff like that up. So I said on Wednesday I wouldn't believe any of it. There was something that come up about the stadium, saying that the stadium's fell to bits, and that, you know, that's all done now and that's over, and that we're now too scared to come out and announce it because obviously the things that are going on the pitch, and Everton are looking at a couple of new different sites. That was all scrapped by the People's Project, obviously, who were the, you know, the people in the people in charge of looking after the consultation and looking after, obviously, the applications and stuff like that, and the whole stadium process on behalf of the fans, and making sure that the fans are happy with what's going on. They come out and they put a post up of what seemed to be a notes app saying, I know somebody who knows somebody who happens to be me, and I'm telling you that, you know, everything's still on track for planning applications for the end of the year, and everything's still as to be, and Bramley Moor Dock is still very much the site that we want to build a new stadium on. And I thought that was absolutely fantastic for them. It was a little bit of humour, and again, it was coming out and squashing rumours that can literally be made up by anybody and anything. And I think it's important that at this time, with Evertonians at the minute, obviously there is a lot of negatives, there is a lot of problems on the pitch. I think at this time it's important that if we see something on social media, we don't just jump on it and take it as the soup, because it's very easy to see something and go, well, you know, Duncan Ferguson and Lewis Bournemorte had a scrap on the coach. That would explain why the team spirits are being down. Well, yeah, it probably would. If they did have a scrap on the coach, I dare say the team spirits would be down, but there's a lot of other reasons, more realistic reasons as to why the team spirits would be down, rather than two coaches having a scrap, which obviously very clearly didn't happen. So the stadium figures were announced, like I said earlier this week. 43,000 responses over the consultation. 43,000 people, Evertonians, Liverpool fans, or, you know, residents of Liverpool, whether you like football or whether you don't. 43,000 responses, and the submission of planning applications is still on track before the end of the year, and that is both applications for Bramley Moor Dock and obviously for the regeneration of L4 and Goodison Park. They are both still on track for the end of the year, which obviously is fantastic. Like I said, in a time where the problems on the pitch are quite evident, it's really nice to come out and see that, you know, nobody's come out and squashed the fact that Lewis Bournemorte didn't have a scrap with Duncan Ferguson on the coach, even though I think we all, you know that that's not true. But obviously, it's really positive that the People's Project come out and said that the stadium rumours were all a load of bollocks, basically, and that everything's still on track. They had a massive response from both stadium consultations. Obviously the consultation being the form that you fill in, or that you can go and do the various different road shows that the People's Project were doing both in November and last month as well, or the month before last, sorry. So obviously both applications still on track for the end of this year. So within a couple of months we should have the applications in for both Bramley Moor Dock and for the regeneration of Goodison Park. Obviously the consultation massively helps that. The fact that so many people, so many fans have got involved and had their say, it'll massively help the application process. So they're still on track, which again is fantastic. Again, it's positive news coming out of the club when, you know, there was a rumour that it could be so negative. It's fantastic that the club have come out and said, no, listen, you know, we're not going to talk about the issues on the pitch because we can't talk about it now, but in terms of the stadium, that's bollocks, and this is what's happening, and this is what's going to remain to happen. So obviously that's fantastic to hear. Where are we? Ziyech says, why don't you do an Everton career mode? It's something that I'll definitely look at. I'm struggling with the new FIFA at the minute. I think it's a bit shit, but it's definitely something I'll look at in the near future when I can sit down and when I can sort out getting it all linked up to my computer and stuff. If you're enjoying the team so far, by the way, please do leave a like. Arteta Money says, Everton on the pitch will let us down most of the year, but the work they do off the pitch is second to none. I've had other fans ask me, am I ashamed of the football club? Fuck no, I love it more than they would ever know. Exactly, spot on. And Horsey City Forever says, mate, believe me, if you get to stay at Goodison, stay, pal. These new modern stadiums destroy the game, in my opinion. We're struggling with the atmosphere, main road bounce, but Etihad struggled at times. There you go. That's from a Manchester City fan, of course, who again coming out with the issues that obviously they're having at the Etihad. We know West Ham have had similar issues at their new stadium as well. I think it's a little bit different with Goodison. I think obviously with the, you know, main road and even to an extent with the bowling ground, it was a move for West Ham. It was a move for Manchester City that was almost, you know, wanted, not a necessity for Everton. I don't think we can stay at Goodison Park if we want to take that next level as a football club. You know, Goodison Park's been a football stadium now for hundreds and hundreds of years, and at the end of the day, it's not, you know, the most ideal, especially not if we're looking to obviously move forward as a football club. So I think it's really, really positive, but I definitely think, like you've said there, you know, there's going to be things that are taken into consideration in terms of the atmosphere, in terms of the fans being close to the players, in terms of, you know, that, and I think that's why it's massively important that these consultations are happening with the fans, because I think that's one of the things that fans are most worried about is, you know, will the atmosphere be taken away from it? Will it not feel like home? And that's something that the club and us as fans have got to make sure is that when we step into Bramley-Moore Docks, when we step into the new stadium, we make it feel like home. Where are we? Wayne says, didn't get the Lewis Bowl Morte appointment other than him being Portuguese. Fair enough. He's worked with Marco Silva before, I think. And Wayne says, would take Wolves as manager. Yeah, I would, but I don't know whether Wolves as manager had come to Everton at the minute. Zia says, is Everton or United worse right now? It's, you know, yeah, that's opinion based, it really, really is. And Zia also says, could you be relegated? I don't think we'll be relegated. We could be relegated, but I don't think we'll be relegated. And Wayne says, yes, if Snarden and Delph stay in central midfield. Fair enough. Anyway, moving on. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about internationals. Obviously, you know, Michael Keane and Jordan Pickford played for England yesterday in their defeat. Luca Dean obviously played for France as well. But I want to talk specifically about one player. Cenk Tosun scored the winner, 90th minute winner at that in Turkey's game last night. It was 0-0 up until the last dying seconds of the game, and Cenk Tosun pops up with a pretty decent header, to be fair, to put it in the back of the net and won the game for Turkey. And it leaves us with the question, listen, obviously Cenk Tosun scored a few goals for Turkey now in his recent appearances. He scored 2 in the last international break, he scored 1 yesterday. Is it now time that Cenk Tosun's given a little bit of an opportunity to prove himself? Obviously we haven't seen him a lot this season, we've only seen him for a matter of minutes. Marco Silva, we quite clearly know, is struggling with team selection, he's struggling with goals. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has scored, 4 this season, but is still struggling. Moise Kean is massively struggling. So is it time that Cenk Tosun comes in and maybe gets his opportunity? Obviously he's performing for Turkey. Whether he'll be here or not in January, whether he'll be here or not in the next summer is obviously it's to be questioned. But obviously he's scoring for his country, so is it time now that we give him his opportunity to come in and see what he can do? I know a lot of fans on the teams have been calling for Cenk Tosun over the last few weeks and months, so maybe it's time that we give him a little opportunity. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's team. I hope you all have enjoyed. If you have, please do hit that like button. It means a massive amount to me. Like I said, we're about 15 subscribers away now from from 1,000, the big 1,000 mark. So if you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button. If you know people that have enjoyed the channel, that are into Everton, that are into football in general, please do share it to them and get them to come over, have a little watch, and hopefully subscribe to the channel as well. We're getting so close to that 1,000 mark now. Hopefully we can hit it before the West Ham game. Like I said, a massive thanks to everybody for getting involved as per usual. Again, I'll echo, if anybody is struggling with mental health, if anybody's struggling with any issue, I'm always here to talk. I'm always here to have a conversation with. Arteta Money said, I think Tosun from the bench with a strike partner would work quite well, but it stunts the improvement of Keane, which is a negative for me. We need to change. fair enough. And you know what? Can't really argue with that. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's team. A massive thanks to everybody for watching. Please do hit the like button if you have enjoyed. We'll be back on Monday night for another live stream talking more about Everton Football Club before, of course, we go into the latter stages of the week when we'll be talking about the West Ham game. Big thanks to everybody for watching. As Edmund says, have a good day, calm lad. Enjoy a Saturday off, mate. Thank you very much. I will do. Don't worry. I really will do. Big thanks to everybody for watching. Please do leave a like if you have enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at MightyBluesYT to keep up to date with all of the latest Everton news and information. Wayne says, have a good one. Don't think Cenk will play in the same team as Sigurdsson too slow. Thank you, Wayne. I will do. And yeah, very fair point as well. There wouldn't be much pace in that attacking lineup at all. Big thanks to everybody for watching. Please leave a like if you have enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.